Now I know I said 371 would be the final episode of the year, and obviously I lied, but I didn't do it on purpose, okay? This was a good lie, because I'm pumping out one more episode for the final year, but the main reason why I'm doing this is because I want to introduce you to my new co-host of Setup Wars, okay? Everyone, I want you to meet Jiwoo.
Sup, nerds?
That is rude, Jiwoo, okay? What did we just talk about? Anyways, I'm very excited to try this because I feel like it'll help make every episode more interactive.
Yeah, I can replace Arya in the Micro Center videos too.
Okay, let's not jump the gun, okay? This is your first day on the job. My audience might not even like you.
Oh, they will.
Look, just because you're made out of medical grade platinum silicone and you look almost lifelike, the fact of the matter remains. You're only 2 feet tall. Anyways, without any more interruptions, let the Setup Wars begin. Give the gift everyone wants this holiday season. And no, I'm not talking about handcuffs and whips. I'm talking about CD keys. Whether you need access to Microsoft Office for school or work, or you're building yourself a PC with Windows 11, you can find keys to all of that and more at VIPorcdkey.com. The best part is they cost only a fraction of the original retail price, saving you tons of money to put towards other meaningful gifts. This holiday season, they have extended the discount to 28% by using the code TS25. This will only last till the end of December before going back down in January. Once again, the code is TS25, so make sure to put that in before you check out. And afterwards, all you have to do is visit the User Center section up top, navigate to your orders so you can copy and paste the key into the activation settings of Windows to get full access to Windows features. What a way to end the year, ladies and gents, my lord.
He can take me out for a ride any day.
What does that even mean? We trimmed the clip a little bit so the episode doesn't become a feature film, but I'm sure you guys saw it, right? This might just be the most sophisticated racing sim and car themed room we have ever had on Setup Wars, hands down. Ishmael is an aircraft mechanic from Jordan, and he built this entire room in a year for one purpose: racing games. You know, I'm actually gonna skip the usual tour and jump into what I'm assuming everyone is locked into as soon as we play the footage. His 2 freaking PCs. One of them is inside of a real engine and the other is inside of a wheel. You usually see builds like these at mod shows, and it's not like we haven't seen any wheel or engine PCs online, but this is different. My man used his old car's engine as the chassis and ran a custom loop that you actually fill through the oil cap. He even wired the gas pedal in the racing sim to move the boost gauge. It is wild. And the wheel? What's cooler than having a PC built right inside a real rim? It matches the room so perfectly. Even the ceiling lamp is a rim. Everywhere you look at screams cars. Wheels, shifters, gauges, a coffee table made from an engine, pegboards with more gear, retro consoles for classic games, and yes, this is a real car hood on display leaning on the wall. The whole setup is just one big racing rig. The desk here is a cockpit with a 65-inch TV in front of him. Now you might ask how exactly he navigates through windows like that, and I would have loved to see him control it with all the wheel and pedals. However, he has a compact wireless keyboard with a touchpad for that. That is, after all he needs to fire up a race and tweak a setting or two. The more you look, the more the details keep stacking. The shifter and handbrake use katana handles. The speakers are huge, which I honestly hope he cranks them to the max, and I equally hope his neighbors are very understanding. For PC specs, we've only got info on the engine, which is running an i7-10700K and an Aorus Master RTX 3080 with an open custom loop. He didn't say anything about the wheel PC in the notes, but judging by the rest of the room, I'd expect something similar in here too. This is by far the coolest custom garage theme setup I've seen anywhere in my life. Like, your talent and creativity is unmatched, my guy.
Yeah, he definitely knows his stuff. My ex-BF didn't even know how to tie a shoe.
You had a boyfriend? Was it Peter Dinklage by any chance?
No, it was the dancing cactus.
Ah. Speaking of boyfriend, what does it take to own you?
Well, I am definitely not cheap. But you can find me and many others like me over at honeyfoxy.com.
Next up is Nathan, a name that I cannot forget till this day, and his retro synthwave dual setups, one for his PC and one for the console. He's a full-time student from Ontario, Canada, working a fast food job on the side to save up some money and build his own setup. It took him around 7 years to bring it to this point, and it all started way before the lockdown in 2020. The console desk actually started as his original homework station, and since then, he's gone all in on the white theme with teal and pink accents. I do have one question though. How hard are you raging in Valorant? Because that wall underneath the desk has definitely seen better days. He's running triple displays. We got 2 stacked 24-inch Asus panels and a 34-inch Gigabyte in vertical mode off to the side. He did offset them to leave some room for his webcam, however I do have a nitpick about the gap between the stacked pair. If you actually push the top monitor slightly forward on the arm, you'll close that seam and make the stack look flush and a lot cleaner. The peripherals of choice are a SteelSeries Apex Pro TKL keyboard and a G Pro X Superlight 2 mouse. It doesn't look like he has any speakers, so the only audio source are the Corsair Virtuoso XTs hanging underneath the desk. Speaking of underneath the desk, cable management looks solid. A Signum rack is doing the heavy lifting, while all loose cables are attached to the desktop with adhesive cable clips. I do see a bunch of unused clips on the surface, and I can think of 3 reasons as to why. Either you had more gear before, planned a different layout, or those are the remnants of an older version of the setup.
Or he doesn't know how to plan a setup.
Shut up, Jiwoo. The PC is a mostly Corsair build with an i9 12900K and an ROG Strix 3080 V2. I do have to say, your graphics card is sagging quite a bit, at least from what I see in this photo, so you might want to get a sag bracket when you can. A small one from Amazon will do the trick and tidy that up quickly. I really like what you did with the decor. The Lego Star Wars helmets, the Funko Pop collection, and the LEDs both around and behind the panels tie everything into a clean neon vibe. What do you think, Jiwoo?
This setup has more gaps than mine.
Jiwoo! How many times I have to tell you? This show is PG-13.
Fine. This setup is way too colorful for me. I prefer darker tones, something that matches the soul inside me. I'd give this 6 out of 10.
Next in line is Nui, which is a gamer tag, by the way, not his actual name, as he prefers to stay anonymous and mysterious. He's an aerodynamics engineering student who also likes to shoot photos and videos on the side. You can tell he's team minimal. The desk space isn't necessarily empty, but that's not what minimalism is about after all. It's a very clean, custom-stained butcher block on a pair of IKEA Mickey drawers, and the whole scene sits against a matte black wall that makes everything pop. He's running a single AOC 27-inch 1440p monitor, and by the looks of it, he's also a fan of Dragon Ball. Okay, I see you. On the desk, we got a custom Wamier SK65 keyboard with a coiled cable and a Logitech M510 mouse. Right beside the monitor are the Creative Pebble speakers, a small desk lamp, a couple of plants, and just enough miscellaneous items to not clutter the desk. Cable management is exactly how you want it thanks to the dark wall. They blend in perfectly and are tucked along the edge of the desk to feed straight into his PC. The PC itself keeps a low profile off to the right side. He put it on a small platform to not choke it directly with the carpet, which is a nice touch. It's also a budget build inside the Meshify C from Fractal Design, and it features a Ryzen 5 3600 and an RTX 3060 Ti Founders Edition GPU. I have to say, Nui, some of your camera work is actually stunning. The lighting, the shallow depth of field, it's got its own style. Also, thank you for including some doggo pics while you're at it. Guys, always feel free to send in your pets, be it cats, dogs, turtles, or even a bearded dragon. Okay, what the hell are you holding, Jiwoo?
I was hoping you can replace the girl in this photo with me.
Jesus Christ. Look, first of all, that's never gonna happen, okay? Number 2, if my wife finds out about you, she will decapitate you. I'm not allowed to have any female friends, even if they're not real, okay? Stop this nonsense. Now we've got the complete opposite vibe, a fully white setup and a lot of lighting. This belongs to Raz, the youngest contestant in today's episode. My dude basically did what we all used to do as kids, or at least try to do as kids. Saved up birthday money for a year and turned it into RGB and happiness. He's obviously an anime and manga fan, as you can tell from that Gojo wallpaper. It's a clean stacked monitor setup with a 24-inch Asus as the main display down below and a 27-inch Philips up top on a stacked monitor mount, so everything stays centered and tight to the wall. The monitors are sandwiched between his Sanyun speakers, which makes the whole thing look super symmetrical. I would have personally placed them a little further from the monitors and pivoted towards you. That way the sound comes from two directions crossing each other and not straight in front of you. Just an idea. If you look at the wall, it's covered with those hex panels from Amazon, but he didn't just slap them flat. He actually spaced them out at different depths. Then he ran lighting behind them so you get that 3D hive glow effect. It's a simple idea, but works like magic. For peripherals, he went with a Yunzi keyboard and a glorious model of Mini sitting on top of our lovely cyber white mousepad. You too can pick one up as well from TechSourceShop.com. He didn't slack when it came to cable management. It's actually pretty good. He's got everything routed cleanly, cables are tucked, grouped, and mounted to the desk, so nothing's dangling like spaghetti. I got no complaints here. Powering it all is a build that is most likely what all of our PCs will soon look like given the price spikes of DDR5. It's got an i5-12600K, an Aorus RTX 3060 Ti, and only one stick of RAM. What a sad reality we live in. But overall, a very clean and bright setup, something any 14-year-old can dream of. And hey, look at that. I asked and I shall receive. There's another Dago photo for you guys. Last but absolutely not least is a setup that's honestly more of a construction project than a submission. When I first saw the photos, I actually thought it was Julian from episode 365 with a massive overhaul. But nope, this belongs to Sully, who's in government law enforcement in the Northeast, which is also why he liked to stay anonymous, and some things in the setup have been blurred out. Here's the part that makes this setup different. Sully didn't just buy stuff and arrange it, he built the room. This started as an unfinished basement, turned into a proper space for his wife next door, and this side became his office and gaming room. And he designed it from the ground up, knowing he'd be hanging a ridiculous amount of weight off the wall. You might not notice it at first glance, but once you really look at it, the floating desk, the wall mounts, the monitor layout, you realize why a simple wall wouldn't suffice for this. That's why he reinforced the main wall with double 2x4s and extra horizontal support, and bolted everything directly into studs. He's running quad Samsung displays. We got a Neo G8 as the primary competitive display, a G9 up top, and dual 34 inches as side wings. So you've got this command center layout where Warzone can be front and center, random apps on the sides, and the top can be there for the occasional immersive single player game. He even says it in the notes, the G9 is barely used, and it's only there when the vibes call for it. You might think it's a waste in that case, but if you can afford it, this layout simply looks and feels much better than it would have without the 49-inch up top. I mean, this is hands down the best layout for quad displays, featuring an ultra-wide if you want to make space for your speakers. It's one of the reasons why I ditched my older connected display setup for the new one. The desk itself is also well thought out. It's a butcher block with 3 pieces in the room, and he built a hidden rear channel behind the usable desk surface specifically to route cables and hide power. This way he doesn't have any power strips attached to the underside of the desk and no adapters showing anywhere. It's the perfect solution for a floating wireless setup, something we've actually seen back in episode 344 if you guys recall. The audio setup is also serious, with Klipsch R50Ms on tilted stands, a proper chain with a Go XLR Mini, we got a DAC, a preamp, and his mic with IEM headphones. Now when it comes to the juice, he actually has 3 computers powering the setup, a PC on either side of the monitors, and a CyberPower laptop. The main rig to the right is a monster with 17 freaking fans, if you count the AIO ones too. It's rocking an i9-13900K and an RTX 4090. It's got enough airflow to create a wind tunnel. absolute madness. The secondary PC, on the other hand, is a build inside the Meshify C with a Ryzen 9 5900X and a Founders Edition RTX 3090. The thing that ties it all together is the theme. Dark walls, warm wood tones, greenery, we got Edison lights, lounge seating, and books. This is what you call dark academia. Also, shout out to the fact that you built this within 3 months and put it on pause when you found out you were having a kid. You know, I can only relate to that. You get such a pleasant mix of thoughts and feelings, but at the same time, you have this huge responsibility put on your shoulders. Being a father is a privilege, and being able to provide for a family, an even bigger one. So Sully, mad respect, and...
Aww, is that a bromance developing here?
Do you ever have anything nice to say? What I was trying to say is that I did read the notes, and it looks like you're open to bounce ideas to improve your setup even more, and we would be happy to help you out on our server. With Danny's 3D skills and my setup knowledge, we can help blueprint something original to bring to life next. Amazing setup to wrap up the show. Thank you so much, Sully, for sharing this with us.
Can I do the outro?
No.
Please?
No.
Come on.
Nope.
Please?
No.
Please?
Fine.
Thanks for watching, nerds. And remember, if you want to grace your setup with something like me, you can find me and many like me at honeyfoxy.com.
Really? You're gonna do a shameless plug in my outro? You know what? You're done, Jibu. Let's get out of here.
Bye!
Unbelievable. As of now, she is permanently banned from showing up on future episodes of Setup Wars, but if somehow, for some reason, you guys want her to be my co-host, just let me know by dropping a like. But do it with caution, because if the video hits 10K likes, she will come back, okay? I hope she doesn't, and I don't foresee it happening anytime soon, but that's what I'm saying. Do not like the video unless you want her back. But anyways, in the meantime, I do have one extra collectible to give away to one lucky subscriber. This is not cheap, you guys, okay? So you just have to let me know in the comment section what you thought of today's episode if you're interested in taking one of these home. I'll pick someone from the comment section down below and announce it on my Instagram account as well as Discord. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.